Okay, so today I'm going to do a walk around of my JDM EP3 Civic Type R. I imported this from Japan a few years ago. It had 99,000 K when I got it and one owner, and I've driven it for a couple of years since, and I've put 40,000 K on it and I've loved every minute. So I'll do a quick walk around tour and show you guys what's going on. So this is the EP3 Civic Type R. It's actually got a few Mugen goodies on it, which it came from the factory. Basically, it's got a carbon fiber front grille, and the Mugen edition has a slightly different intake and a slightly different exhaust. So as you can see, the Mugen edition has a single exhaust pipe, whereas the stock JDM Civic Type R has a twin pipe exhaust and a different intake. So the Mugen edition puts out an extra 8 horsepower, bumping up the total power spec to 220. What I wanted was a completely stock, unmolested, unmodified Type R in good condition. It was actually really hard to find. I spent about a year looking at the auctions, looked at probably hundreds of them before deciding on this one, and it was basically just to try and get something as close to stock as possible, so it would retain all the Type R goodness, and I didn't want any aftermarket mods or silliness that sometimes actually detract from the drivability and the enjoyment of the car. Another thing that's uncommon is to find factory Recaro seats in really good shape. Unfortunately, in Japan, a lot of the ones have been smoked in, they got cigarette burns on them, and they don't look in great shape. So I'll show you what these ones look like inside. I mean, look at that. These things are basically mint. Perfectly clean, no stains, no cigarette burns, no smoke, no smell, nothing like that. The interior of the car is totally stock. The only thing that's aftermarket is that factory gear knob. The stock one is actually a bit more teardrop shaped, but they're both made out of aluminum, does the same thing, so I wasn't too worried about that. Look at this beauty. This is the JDM K20A. This is an 8,450 RPM redline, absolute screamer of an engine. Puts out 220 horsepower, the exact same spec as the DC5 Integra Type R and the Accord CL7 Euro R. Absolute awesome motor, super responsive. I get 30 miles per gallon daily driving it to work, mixed highway and city. VTEC crossovers are at 5,800 RPM, and it just howls all the way up to 8,500 when it starts to redline. It's an absolute beast of a motor, as durable as they come, and I've never seen anyone that's jumped inside this car and wound it up that hasn't got a smile on their face when they're done. The only slight difference between the EP3 Civic Type R K20A and the Integra DC5 Type R K20A is that the EP3 doesn't have hydraulic power steering. Its power steering system is electric, so there's no parasitic losses from the motor to drive the hydraulic pump. But besides that, pretty much the exact same motor, putting out the same horsepower, same fun. Gonna fire it up so you guys can hear a little bit of that K20A goodness. So just showing a different angle of the interior. You can see we've got the factory Type R floor mats, driver and passenger. It's quite rare to actually get those these days. It seems like a lot of them get taken out and sold separately in Japan or online because they actually fetch a pretty penny. You can see these Recaros again are in excellent shape. No cigarette burns, nothing weird, nothing stinky. And what you get when you buy a Type R is 3 deluxe buttons on the dashboard with your air conditioning, which is pretty much standard in Japan. I got this absolutely epic JDM stereo, which picks up 1 radio station in Canada, and a numbered plaque showing the number of the vehicle manufacturing, and a little slide thing that reveals coffee cup holsters. And besides that, the white tachometer showing a 8,450 RPM red line, and an absolute beauty Momo factory steering wheel, Type R spec, perfect size. Can't say enough good things about it. Just features the quick steering ratio that the Type Rs are famous for, and the feedback through the steering wheel is just phenomenal. Just makes it a true driver's car. One thing that makes the EP3 Civic so noticeable compared to some of the others is the dash mounted shifter. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first bought the car I was a little bit worried about how it would feel. I thought it looked kind of silly. I wasn't totally sold on it, but I had heard good things, so I wanted to try it out for myself. I gotta say, after driving it for not even a few minutes, I realized how absolutely awesome it is. It is so good. And what it comes down to is the positioning. Look how close it is to the steering wheel. So basically, an outstretched hand like this, and you're touching the shifter. So they did that on purpose to get the shifter as close to the steering wheel as possible, so no time was spent going between the shifter and the wheel when you're racing with two hands. And I can't say enough good things about it. It's super close ratio. The throws in it are really short. It's silky smooth, just like most of Honda's good transmissions. Looks a little bit funny, perfect location, feels amazing. I think you got to try it out and decide for yourself. But don't judge it by its looks alone, because it is absolutely awesome. I absolutely love it. I actually miss it when I'm driving my other Type R, to be honest. So highly recommend, give it a shot. So you can see I've got a Yakima roof rack on this. Personally, I think all hatchbacks need a roof rack. I can't explain why, but I definitely think all hatches look better with a decent roof rack on them. And what makes this rack a little bit different is it's got what's called a short roof adapter. So this bar actually lengthens the roof rack from front to back. If this bar wasn't there, the rack would actually physically end here, and you would only have that much distance. So it lengthens the rack, allows you to carry longer, larger loads, and then this thing cams down onto these Yakima Q clips instead of just the Q tower having the typical Q clip like it has in the front tower. So, and basically that, in my opinion, makes the rack look a little bit better, but it also makes it a bit more functional if you want to carry skis, snowboards, bikes, anything like that. So there you have it. Just wanted to show you guys a quick little walk around tour of my JDM EP3 Civic Type R. Like I said, I've owned this for a couple of years and I've loved every minute of it. It's been an absolute riot. I'm going to be sad to see it go. I'll be putting this up for sale in a couple of weeks. I already have my second Type R that arrived a few weeks ago. I just got that through its provincial inspection. That is a JDM Accord Euro R CL7. Similar body style to an Acura TSX, but powered by the K20A, got a helical LSD and all that other good stuff. I'm on a quest to own all of the JDM Honda Type Rs that are out there. I think there's about 5 or 6. I don't think I can ever afford the NSXR, but hey, one can dream. Last one I checked went through the auctions at 380,000 Canadian dollars. So I guess we'll see what happens in the future, but I'm not keeping my thumbs crossed. Alright guys, just wanted to say thanks for watching. If you guys like these videos, give it a like and a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, I'll be doing a few walkarounds of my JDM 80 series Land Cruiser and of my second Type R Honda, which is my Accord CL7 Euro R. If you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below and I'll see what we can do. Thanks a lot. Cheers.